Hey everybody, Eric here from Bloat Games coming at you today. I just want to do a video today talking about my long overdue recap for my trip to Origins. Now I apologize because I know that throughout this video I'm going to say Gen Con instead of Origins several times just because I got Gen Con on the brain. But no, this is about my trip to Origins. I was invited to Origins to run some zombie games, some Survive This zombies. People from Rogue Cthulhu and Nerd Louisville and everything got together, and they were nice enough to to put me up there and get my badges and all that type of stuff. And I really appreciate those guys. Good bunch of people. Got to ride up with a gentleman named Matthew. Great guy. He and I talked the whole way up there and the whole way back, and we kind of palled around for a lot of the convention. He was running a lot more games than I was, though. I was only scheduled to run 4, so 4 4-hour blocks. Ended up running 3 of the 4-hour blocks with 8 players per session, so that was a good time. The Sunday morning one, we had to combine some tables, so my game got combined into another game, which is fine. But while I was up there, I got to meet and network with a lot of people who I know on Facebook. They're my Facebook friends, but not didn't know in person or had never met in person and stuff like that. Then met some new faces who I didn't even know. All in all, it was a great convention. I was a little shocked. There was some of the big ones there that vendors there that I wanted to see was like DCC. They had a booth. The Evil Hat had their booth and stuff like that. But there was I was kind of shocked by the lack of OSR stuff to be found up there. A little disheartening because I love the OSR stuff. Really, if you wanted to get the OSR stuff, the DCC booth was the place to be for that type of stuff. I mean, there were some scattered here and throughout, but there wasn't a lot of stuff. A lot of the books that I look at on like Lulu and or Drive Through RPG, and I'm like, ooh, I gotta get those. They weren't available up there, and so I was kind of disheartened a little bit about that. But if you've never been to Origins, Origins is huge. It's a really big venue, really big place. Giant vendor hall, giant gaming hall. Games kind of go on everywhere. It was my first experience at a gaming convention like that, and I had a blast. I highly recommend if you get a chance to go up to Origins, definitely go. It's well worth it. I wanted to go over some of the things that I picked up while I was up there. Some of my bring home souvenirs. So the first thing is I went to the indie game developer booth and I talked to some people over there. I talked to a young lady by the name of Marissa Kelly. And now Marissa, I was unfamiliar with her work at the time, but she was very nice. Probably one of the nicest people I met up there. Not that anybody was rude, but just she was just like a super sweet person. And she sold me on some games that I told her I wasn't too keen on trying, and those are the Powered by the Apocalypse games or the Dungeon World games. But she sold me on some of those, so I did pick up some of those books. I got her book here, Apillion, and this is kind of like playing Spiral the Dragon. So you play as dragons or hatchlings in a fantasy world. It's kind of neat. Definitely uses the Powered by the Apocalypse engines. Got her to sign it. Was able to pass on one of my Survive This zombie books for her. This is another one. This is a Kickstarter that I wanted to pick up when it was in Kickstarter, but then I saw it's Powered by the Apocalypse and I didn't. But Masks: A New Generation. This one's by Brendan Conway. It is a fantastic book as far as like layout and quality. It's kind of everything that you'd want to see in a superhero book. This is gaming done right. I'm still not sold on the system, guys. I'll tell you, I've read this book front to back, and while there's a ton of awesome content, I'm not sold on on how the game plays. So we'll have to keep working with that. This next book is a book that Marissa Kelly sold me on. She said that this is um, hands down the best of the Powered by the Apocalypse Engine games. And I looked it up, and it did have a ton of really good reviews, so I went ahead and I grabbed it. This is Urban Shadows. So, um, it's a kind of like a fantasy setting in a large city, not fantasy setting, a modern day fantasy setting in a large city. Um, and this one again, these three books I just showed you, they're all by Magpie Games, and man, they got some really good construction quality of their games and layout. They really do things top notch. From Evil Hat, I went ahead and I picked up the Fate Accelerated book. I had this PDF, but for $5, I said, "Oh, why not? Let's pick that up. Give Fate a chance." I got a few Fate adventures I wanted to try. I also picked up some Fate dice, which I don't have sitting next to me right now, but I was able to pick up some of those from up there. Next, this was kind of one that a lot of people at the con were talking about, and I had never heard of before. Baker Street. This is role playing in the world of Sherlock Holmes by Bryce Whitaker. And this book is really cool. It's done by a group of guys out of Indiana, northern Indiana, but about 3 hours away from where I am in Louisville, and they use their own unique system. I haven't had a chance to read this, but I talked to the guys who were selling it and the creators, and I really liked what they had to say, and there was a big buzz about it. And while I mean they're 3 hours away, I still consider them like semi-local, so I wanted to support those guys, and I got that. And then for running the sessions up there for the Rogue Cthulhu guys, I was gifted a copy of the Call of Cthulhu, the Investigator's Handbook. This is, I believe, the 7th edition. So it's a Chaosium product. Very cool. It's by Sandy Peterson, big name in the industry that most people should know. And now I've never played Call of Cthulhu, but I've always wanted to. I'm a big Cthulhu reader. Isn't that funny? I read a lot of the H.P. Lovecraft stuff growing up, but I just never went down that path of gaming. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. But that was my pickups. That's everything that I had from Origins. Again, it was just a good time. I wanted to give everybody an update. I know it's kind of well past when the Origins happened. I mean, we're practically upon Gen Con now, but just wanted to give a small review and tell everybody how my sessions went. They went wonderfully. In fact, I had in the games I was running, I had the first time I ever had a lady who was seeing impaired. I never ran a game for somebody who was seeing impaired, and it did throw me off because I'm used to in like Survive the Zombie, since it's set in like the modern era. I kind of sometimes will grab like modern things. I'll say, well, this guy looks like Will Smith, but then like I had to stop myself and say, because she doesn't know what Will Smith looks like, so I'd have to describe. So it changed up my my game mastering style just a little bit, which was cool. Something that neat. I like those challenges. I like having to think on my feet, and she had a blast. And oh man, was she a great role player? Wow, her character work phenomenal. And really, almost everybody that I played with up there was top notch. Some of the best role players I've ever played with. So I'm gonna try to keep this video under 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and clock out of here. But that's my review. Hope everybody's having a great day. Bye.